Hi, I'm Amit. I'm really not on the roster. I was sort of a wild card entry. I'm an architect and urban designer. I'm not a rap star. My presentation actually is about a little bit why all of you are in business. We're I coined this term in Freud about a year ago, thanks to Malini, who's the next speaker. Um, she got me thinking about infrastructure in the city. In Freud's is basically a combination of infrastructure and the voids it leaves behind. Um, what you see here is basically a map of Delhi and the green space. Apart from the other person, my presentation is going a lot slower than I'd like to. Um, so basically, if you kind of block out everything, that's the open space in Delhi, what you see right now. My interest, however, is infrastructure that comes in over the city, over under wherever you feel it, wherever it needs to go, which I kind of feel is also a void in the city. These spaces can be positive, negative, which is a very absurd kind of term to use, but we need infrastructure, we need transportation, we need connectivity. There's no two ways about it. Corbusier said, the connection is actually the reason. The faster the city, the rapid the success of it or the prosperity of it. We encounter things like this every day during our daily lives without realizing what it's doing and the impact it has on our psyche, on our moods. You never see the sky anymore because of the way that things are constructed. These are some of the vistas that I've taken from my little Samsung blurry phone with a lot of smog on it. So I know it's illegal to hold your phone up, but this is what you see while you drive through the city. Bars, sound barriers, and that's your texture. I kind of encounter this every moment I step out of my office and I'm headed to a meeting. And again, we're a little slow. Could you turn? But what this does is it gives me an impression every day, that everything we see is always obstructed, and I feel like I'm in jail every time I'm walking. I'm in a prison. I'm never free of barriers to either look or engage with anything. But in fact, our cities, Indian cities, are much more colorful and they have a lot more to offer than the modernity that we're setting it up to be. Modern cities, unfortunately, these two slides, that's Gurgaon, that's Rajasthan, but they don't have, how'd you say, that evolution of era. I feel like if we are going to drive through a city, why can't it have, a wild diaspora of itself? It's a car culture. So can't it be much more interesting? Can't there be light and shade that breaks through, even if we're driving through? And of course, if infrastructure does exist, how can it be part or pride of the city? What kind of vistas can it give us other than just being solid barriers or giving you a sense of imprisonment? Why can't we have iconic gestures within Delhi? Why aren't there iconic buildings other than Saket Mall? That exist. I mean, where do we take? How do you invite people into this wonderful Delhi without taking them to a mall? We have a lot of underbelly spaces under the infrastructure. But sadly, we've never looked at what we're doing. We've never cared for them. We've never even cared for how the infrastructure is designed. Wouldn't it be lovely to kind of come in out of your workspaces into a plaza which actually entices you or has a capacity to even upgrade or promote things like safety issues. If you're driving through and there's all this chaos, can't we, you know, I love chaos, but can't we design our own, chaos, which makes it much more viable, and it has a respect for modernity and historicity. Can't the other sides be used for bike paths, which actually you could ride along the underside of the metro line, and you can have these beautiful vistas, which actually if you ride over a couple of the flyovers, you can see it, or the metro, you can, but you can never walk or ride a bicycle and explore Delhi the way you wanted to. Here we're kind of expressing this idea of skywalks that link on to the infrastructure, which become sky parks where people can interact. Now, there's a difference between global phenomenons of bridges, and then there's our situation. We how do you relate? And I think we need to find middle ground. Where is that middle ground of both? And I feel that it comes from dynamic planning strategies where, transportation as well as urban culture is looked at in cohesion. There's a lot of ums in my presentation. I think it's stuck. So basically what we need is actually an overlap of multiplicities of many things. And I think this is a beautiful photo that I found in New York where these two children actually engage and express themselves with, security bollards. Thank you so much.